Aidan Olsen.
I like to consider myself a bit of an intellectual. I don't mean to be pretentious or rude. By no means do I consider myself of superior intellect than anybody else. I just feel that I use intellectual processes when I do things. I try to be rational and use logic when I make decisions. And that's probably why I don't believe in God. Now, I won't say God is an idiotic concept, because it's not, although sometimes it seems that way to me. I certainly see the appeal of believing in God, and oftentimes I envy those who do. I just can't fool myself. I've tried to tell myself that there is something else, but I've never had a whole lot of success. I've told myself that God is life, that God is nature, that God is human interaction, that God is love, and that God is a big bearded man in a white tunic who lives in the clouds. None of them work for me. None of them make sense in my mind. It's the same way with enlightenment, with reincarnation, and with the afterlife. They just seem impossible to me. Every spiritual belief that has ever been suggested to me just feels ludicrous. This puts me in a truly unpleasant situation. I found that people appear to think that atheists are generally apathetic. I've also found that I do not fit the stereotype at all. It's very difficult not to believe in anything big. There's nothing to comfort you when you think about mortality. And it's hard. It's so very hard to have a complete understanding that life is simply life and that there's nothing more. I'll be 15 years old in 2 days. The average life expectancy in the United States for males is 75. That puts me right now at having lived 20% of my entire life. 20%. That can't possibly be true. I'm so young. I don't want to be 20% done. But I guess technology will advance. The average life expectancy will increase, and most likely, hopefully, I'll live past 75. But that doesn't mean I'm not faced with an enormous flash of reality. I am. Knowing that I'll die before too long makes me want to do something with my life. I guess if I believe in anything at all, that would be the premise behind it. Doing something is important to me. I don't mean that I want to change the world or anything, and I'm not saying that because I don't think I'm capable of it. I don't think I'm capable of it, but that's beside the point. I'm not particularly interested in making a difference. I just don't think I enjoy it all that much, to be frank. I think making the world a better place requires a lot of hard work that I just don't want to put in. I'd rather do what I actually enjoy doing, and that's okay with me. I'd love to indulge myself and live as lavishly as I please, and it's what I plan on doing. I'm going to enjoy myself when I have the chance, because I truly doubt I'll have another opportunity to do so. What I want more than anything is to be able to be on my deathbed, look back on my life, and not necessarily be proud of what I did, but at least have had fun doing it. Now, I realize that this sounds like I'm trying to rationalize my vices. But I'm not, I promise. I don't plan on doing anything criminal, but also not anything saintly. Here's how I look at it. I don't want to go on a killing spree, but I don't want to cure cancer either. I'd much rather take a nice hot bath and then maybe watch The Big Lebowski. It's not exactly glamorous or exciting by any means, but it's what I want to spend my time doing. It's as simple as that. However, it hasn't always been that easy for me to accept. For a long time, whenever I thought about God and heaven, I got chills. I became sick to my stomach when I thought of life ending with death. After a while, I just tried to keep spiritual ideas out of my head entirely. And I didn't come around until a few months before COA began, actually. The turning point when I went from fear and death to loving life came the first time I heard Chocolate Jesus, a song by singer-songwriter Tom Waits that I was told was too offensive for me to play here. The way I see it, Chocolate Jesus can be interpreted two ways. The first is the way that I interpreted it, and the second is the way that all of you probably would have if I had played it here today. What I took from it was not anti-religious at all. What I heard was not about Jesus at all, but more so about chocolate. And it seemed to me that Mr. Waits was describing an almost religious experience with it. Now, I don't connect with chocolate, or any confectionery items for that matter, in any sort of spiritual way. But when I heard the song, it reminded me of how much certain things mean to me. I love to eat good food, sleep in, drink juice, listen to music, spend time with my friends and family, act, sing, play my guitar, my cajon, and my bass, and watch wrestling then. And I would rather do any of those things than pray or meditate or worship in any way at all. All too often I'm criticized for this philosophy. I'm confronted with questions like, what if there is a God? And don't you want to prepare just in case there is a heaven? And I get very, very upset. I guess I don't rule out the possibility of a God. I very much don't believe in one, but I do acknowledge that there is no way of knowing for sure that one does not exist. I'll say that much. I can't argue with something that can't be proven or disproven. But once again, I can accept that fact. God in heaven will always be a mystery, and that is the way that they should stay. I'll stay strong in my belief no matter what. I don't want to be ruled by the fear that perhaps there is something else on the other side. I don't want to worry about a future that I highly doubt will even occur. You can challenge me with unanswered questions, but I feel that we should just leave them unanswered. If there is a God, if there is a heaven, we'll find out about it if and when the time is right. Till that happens, I intend to live my life as if it is the only life that I have, because I suspect it is, and I don't want to waste it worrying about something else.